Well, I'm not going to lie to you. It is nice to be back in Ohio, at least a step away from the mayhem and pandemonium that's going on in Ontario. And I'm not, I've been very, very critical of our government's rollout process, procurement. We could go on and on. But at the end of the day, it's a very serious thing. I was just telling, Jason's here with me. I was just telling him that they said, I just read a thing online that said 572 people are in the intensive care unit in Ontario, which you may not think is a lot of people, but it is. They're canceling all elective surgeries right now, so it's a serious thing. And as I said, the situation here in Ontario, or here in Ohio, because of Ontario, is very, very fluid. We have I think 20 horses here now. I think
we got another one coming in an hour.
Stonebridge Simba's on his way back. Jazzy Judy arrived here. I'm pretty sure Lauren said with your horse it's 21. So the stable has 20 horses here right now. There's still 70 horses left in Ontario. Of those horses, 32 are Ontario breds. So realistically, if this trend, it's, what's the date today? April 10th?
10th.
The lockdown's supposed to be over May 6th. I don't see how that's possible. But I'm not a doctor and I'm not Doug Ford, but I don't see how you can go from really, quite frankly, a state of emergency right now in Ontario. It is a state of emergency, yeah, in Ontario, to opening up May 6th. We went through this last time and they said 2 weeks, then 4 weeks, then it ended up being 7, I believe. So I have my concerns. I'm not going into this believing that everything is going to open on May 6th, but the good news is I believe horse racing should be on the front line to open up. So the first, never should have closed, I suppose, but on the list of the first industries that should open up. So that should help. I've been having some very serious conversations with my wife about potentially coming here early, taking all the babies that are Ontario breds. I've talked to Curtis. I haven't talked to Dave yet, Northfield Park. I'm going to. We could pull it off if we had to, but again, to be completely upfront with everybody, it's my family first, and my wife still is not vaccinated, and as most or all of you are not either. I am, which I said to somebody in a message last night. They messaged me, and I said, when there's a runaway. When I first got vaccinated, I was so happy. I was never really worried about getting COVID. I still could. I was never really worried about it. You did. You got COVID and the shot. He got the virus and the vaccine all in a span of 7 months. So I was never worried about getting it. I was worried about not knowing I had it and giving it to somebody else. And when I got the vaccine, I obviously I was happy. Mentally you believe that you're one step forward, right? Although you have to wait 2 weeks or whatever for it to actually do what it does. I was happy. And almost instantaneously after being happy, I was embarrassed. Because here I am, a perfectly healthy 44-year-old male, Canadian, coming over to Ohio and getting the vaccine when these people are dying and being sick in Ontario. So enough about that. I do have the vaccine. I am happy. I am going home on Sunday, and I am coming back next week. Now, I still don't know where that leaves us. These 21 horses are here right now, and there could be as many as 30 horses coming at some point if this keeps up. The Ontario horses are in Ontario. We've talked about that. It would take a prolonged shutdown, so longer than the 4 weeks. If they look and they say that May 6th horse racing is not back, fine. We'll have to make a decision then. But there wouldn't be much sense in me making a decision now, because it would be, I don't think it would be beneficial. Like, imagine trying to race a horse like No Free Lunch over here. They just go on about 52, right? So at some point he needs those miles in him, but shipping them out of Ontario into the U.S., racing against horses that are racing right now to get potentially possibly beat up, to go back to Ontario to race against horses that are fresh and haven't raced yet, there is a win and a loss there, but I just don't think we're there yet. But when it comes to everybody else, all the other horses that are not Ontario breds, there is a very real possibility on the table right now that they all could move. all of them. I could still theoretically do yearling videos. We are at a racetrack. They do have video capabilities, so it would just be a matter of talking to Dave and management and asking them if we could. We wouldn't interfere with anybody. Obviously, they would never let us have a drone over top of other horses jogging and training at a public track, but as I said, they do have the video equipment here, and Curtis could obviously simultaneously do the horses in Ontario. These are the things I'm thinking about right now. This is what's on my plate right now. Coming here, I was so happy today to train the horses here in Ohio. Very impressed with what I saw. Jason's barn always looks good. It looked good again today. Tim's barn, huge surprise. Like, what kind of a lift was that yesterday with Sweet Ambitions? Sweet Ambitions wasn't good enough to leave Ontario at 2. She wasn't. She got beat handily at Flamborough and at London. Now, she's not really, she's a bigger filly, but I didn't see that happening yesterday, and that's why we all love this game, because sometimes you can be so surprised. Perfect Records qualifier, although it isn't a stake race, not even a pari-mutuel race for a purse, but to see that horse go out and qualify in 58 was impressive. It lifts you up. And then to see a horse like Sweet Ambitions, because for every horse that doesn't make it or isn't good enough, you always get these rare diamond in the rough type deals. You look at the lines of Sweet Ambitions, 2-2, 2-2, 2-3, 2-2, 2-1 on a half, and then bam, 2-mover winning 56-1 at the Meadows. I thought there was at least a chance that the state police would have had Tim in handcuffs by the time I come off the track from the winner's circle. But hey, it was a great feeling watching GW Chrome, a horse that I love to death, recover after a break, re-qualify, and then go out and win the way he did. Look great. Vet did some work on him today. What did he draw?
5.
He drew 5, so he's back in to go. First leg of the Iron Maiden series. Great spot for GW Chrome. Fox Valley Britska. I told everybody, Fox Valley Britska didn't warm up great the other night. When Jason warmed him up, we ended up changing a lot of equipment before we actually raced the horse, and didn't know how he'd be. Quite, very upfront and honest with Chris Lems, and said, hey, I don't know what you're going to get here. Do the best you can. And Fox Valley Britska showed a lot of heart and determination to go out and do what he did the other night. That was an impressive mile. Not just the mile itself, but what took place leading up to that mile was impressive. I found out today that they're now writing numbers 1, 2, and 3 condition races and condition claimers for Indiana. So Italian Grit, and you said he's picked to win?
He's 5-2 Tuesday.
So Italian Grit's 5-2 morning line Tuesday. Italian Grit and Fox Valley Britska will likely be heading to Indiana after this in one capacity or another. That's My Girl's not quite ready yet. She's coming, but she's not quite there yet. She's probably gonna, maybe that's who I might bring over next week, because it's gonna be hard to get her ready to race it. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to get her ready to race at Tamiko. I was wondering who I'm gonna ship over to Ontario from Ontario next week. And you guys know why I'm shipping, right? I take a horse over. I'm a commercial shipper. I don't have to quarantine when I go home. So it doesn't matter that I have the vaccine. It means nothing at the Canadian border right now, but in commercially shipping a horse does. So That's My Girl. I'm going to take her over. That's exactly who I'm going to take over here next week. So she'll train, I'll train her on Tuesday, and then Wednesday, immediately after the baby training sessions. We're going to have to start early too, because I'm driving Holy Chick in race 1 at Northfield. So I have to leave Ontario with That's My Girl and get to Northfield Park by 5 o'clock to be here an hour before to race Holy Chick. A lot of people have asked me, well, why aren't you driving the other two? So I don't have to. Why would I, as an owner, I'm a partner of yours on GW Chrome. Why would I take Luke Ebersol off the horse? He just won with him. Gets along good with him. I don't need to drive that horse. Same as any of the other horses. I mean, it's not going to be, I'm not just going to show up and say, oh, you're fired. Mama, again, qualified. He qualified Mama. Let him drive Mama. I can drive Holy Chick. And then Monday, I was heading home Sunday, and tragic news that Trace Tetrick and Tim Tetrick's niece was killed in a car accident. So Trace Tetrick is not in Miami Valley on Monday. I could have said, no, I'm not going home, but because of everything going on at the border, Billy Davis can't get home. So he's up here riding for us, and he's going to go drive I'm a Lovely Lady. And I told Billy, he ain't going to get away 6 with her. She was sharp as a tack this morning. She trained very, very good this morning. Had the vet go all over her. She looks good. She's coming into her own. Really, really impressed with what I've seen from her, and interested in what's going to take place, not just Monday, but after that, with our girl, I'm a Lovely Lady. So what took place this week? I'm 10 minutes into the video. What took place this week? I guess it would be hard not to have the highlight of the week not be Sweet Ambitions. I mean, George was good, but when I expected George to be good. Sweet Ambitions out of the 8-hole, 20-1 morning line. Tim said, I'm glad you raced her. I said, if I didn't own a piece of her, I don't know how would you justify leaving a quarter in 28 seconds and then her winning in 56? I knew she had gate speed. There wasn't a lot on the inside of me, but I was expecting a mile in 58, 59 out of Sweet Ambitions. You know, she trotted in 2-2 at London. London's a slow half. The Meadows, 5/8 mile track, hot day, faster. But 58, I thought would have tied her up into knots. And for her not just to win in 56, leave hard, get shuffled, charge down the lane and win. That was a big, big, big mile from Sweet Ambitions. Very impressed with her. GW Chrome just absolutely jogged on Wednesday. So that's how my week started, was to come to Ohio. I got here just in time to watch GW Chrome win, and I was so happy. Not just because I'm a partner in GW Chrome, but because I like the horse, and with everything going on, you know, we all need some positive reinforcement, that's for sure. GW Chrome was great, and then watch Britska just muscle through whatever was bothering him and finish second in 58 was incredible. Also, we turned him out. He's out in the field for a few days. We'll bring him back. He likely might make his next start in Indiana, as will likely Italian Grit after Tuesday. And as Billy Davis is driving it, did Billy pick up any drives? Do you know, on Tuesday?
I think he's got 5.
Oh, good. So Billy's got some drives on Tuesday at Northfield Park, too. You know, everybody's trying to do the best they can. Billy's got a wife and kids, and Buffalo literally told him, you're able to drive in Buffalo, but you can't go back to Canada. That's what Buffalo told Billy Davis. Because of what's going on in Canada and the variants, they just told him, listen, we want to help you out. You drive here. He was a leading driver there last year, right? You're a leading driver here last year. You can drive here, but you can't go back. So now Billy's stuck. What do I do? So Jason said, come up, crash on my couch, ride horses for us, and pick up some mounts at Northfield. And I'm glad he got 5. And I assume he's picked for first or second with Italian Grit. And then Captain's Maid. I thought she won there. Did you see the race?
Yeah.
I thought she won right at the wire. Right at the wire. Just got beat and raced great. She's probably, I think there's one horse that's kind of a layover, I think, in that series. And she's second or third best in there if she draws good and, you know, is sharp coming in. So, really excited to see what Captain's Maid's going to do in the final. And then Braemar, although I have to mention him, although he was 5th, this is a horse that qualified in 58. I said, he was okay. Qualified in 56, and I said, not so okay. A little flat, really, right? And I was going to race him on, we had him entered in at Mohawk on the Sunday for the Flamborough card. That would have been a perfect spot for him. The province shut down. So now he's off another week. I train him up hard at the farm on Monday. We race him Friday. This is a horse 58, 56 at Mohawk. 56 wasn't a great mile. Then goes out and paces in 53-1. His first start back. I said to Tim, if you see I moved him in the last turn and he got out of gear, I think he was slipping. Track was it was hot out. Track was a little sandy, a little deep, and he just had little full swedges on all around. I said to Tim, I think if we switch him to a hood with cups and put 4 aluminum shoes on him, if he can stay sound in those aluminums, he'll be really, really good. The unfortunate part, Won My Heart Hanover, ripped the shoe off, swung to the pace, made a break leaving, come back trotting, still trotted in 57, went a big mile. She was 5th. She made the final, and Tim told me Aglariam, although we scratched her because she was sick, which was the right thing to do. You can see her legs are a little filled up today. I jogged her here at Northfield Park. You might ask, I'll answer your question in a minute. Jogged her here this morning at Northfield Park, and she was great. So I know your question would be, why is Aglariam and Won My Heart at Northfield Park? Well, Tim has gone away this week. The Meadows isn't racing. He took his family away to Florida, and I said, hey, 2 hours away is Jason. Why don't we take Aglariam and Won My Heart Hanover down? I'll come back next Wednesday night. I'll school them at Northfield Park, so they're both zinging tight, especially Aglaire, who's gonna need that schooler. School them both at Northfield Park next Thursday. Make sure they're zinging tight for the final. So I brought them back yesterday. They're here right now. Mama Knows Best, an unfortunate break. First elimination of the Hackett, didn't make the final. Jason requalified her 3 days later in 59 at Northfield Park, where she was fine. She'll race in the... What'd she drop?
Middle.
She drew somewhere in the middle of the gate, Jason said, on Wednesday evening. Luke Eversole is going to drive her also. And as I said, George, GW Chrome, is also in.
6.
6.
7.
Is also in on Wednesday evening. So Mama was good. I'm a Lovely Lady trained good. GW Chrome was good. A lot of people asking about My Jazz. What's going on with My Jazz? So she bled a little in her qualifier. She was sick. She tied up a little bit. Just a bad day, really, for My Jazz at the office. A real bad day. Jason cleaned her up. I said, don't rush. Don't worry about the Hackett. Don't rush. Took our time. Got her right. Got her healthy. She jumped on her foot. Got her foot cleaned up. And I went out and trained her this morning. And this is a filly that never really ever trained good by herself a day in her life. I trained her by herself. 159 last half, 57 last quarter in 28-1, and she was very, very good. So My Jazz scoped her after, also very important. Scoped her after. Vet said no mucus, right?
No mucus.
No mucus, no blood, no nothing. She was on Lasix, but no mucus, no blood, no nothing. So
She is on Lasix.
she'll enter the Lasix program. I will qualify her next Thursday here at Northfield Park, with our eyes on potentially hopefully getting an invite to the Scarlet and Gold. Scarlet and Gray. Scarlet and Gray. If we can do that, great. That would be wonderful. If not, we'll find something and we'll re-qualify her. But you can be sure when the Sire Stake races start, My Jazz will be ready to rock. Holy Chick, as I said, is here now. Frilly Fringes. Not many people know this. We shipped Frilly Fringes back here. She was sick and bled her last start a little bit. I don't know if she bled.
Yep.
She did bleed.
Tim put her on Lasix.
Yeah, but I don't know if she bled her last start on Lasix. I know he said she was sick. There might have been a couple of tinges. We haven't trained her back. Again, don't want to rush her. She may school here next Thursday. If we train her a slow mile Monday, we're probably going to need Billy, Jason, all hands on deck for some schoolers. The starter was nice last year. I bet you they'll give us 2 schoolers. They only usually have 1 schooler, but we'll have a number of horses to school. So I think we'll just ask them if they wouldn't mind helping us out and have 2 schoolers, as we have a number of horses just from what I'm looking at. The 2 fillies, 1 My Heart Hanover, 3 fillies, 1 My Heart Hanover, Eglarium, Frilly Fringes. Am I missing someone?
Might be it for schoolers. Tigers qualifying.
Tigers, and that's the other thing. I was getting to Tiger. Yeah, at least 3 schoolers, a number of qualifiers. So a busy next Thursday for us here in Ohio, and I will be here again. Camco Lizzie. Not many of you know that horse. So that horse was sent to us from Prince of Rhode Island. Luke, you said Luke? Luke Schooler said she was pretty good. We're going to enter her here. Don't know if she can get in. We're going to enter her here trying to find a spot for her. And then tonight, this is Saturday, obviously. Tonight, I'm going to race Gray as a New Red well and down. I've had a number of people email me and say, how will they be? I have no idea, but I can guarantee you they're going to get raced. That's an absolute certainty. So, they're both 5-1, I think, right?
Yeah.
I think they both should be all right. And the other horses that Jason has here, busy week for Jason. White Tiger came here. I felt so stupid. Trained White Tiger in 2.7, come out quarter in like 28 seconds with him. Pumped, gonna put him in to go, and then didn't dawn on me. He made a break at Woodbine. His last flat line was January 8th. He has to qualify, and we trained him on qualifying day, but it would have been a tight fit. Nevertheless, he'll qualify next Thursday also. Compass Rose DC trained great today. Trotted right over my wheel. She's sure-footed, eh?
I think you hit me.
No.
No.
We were pulling up, and there was looked like there could have been some tire damage done, but it worked out all right. Compass Rose DC trained very, very good. She's 3-4 weeks away. White Tiger will qualify Thursday. Globetrotting looks great. She looks like a totally different horse. She is put on. You remember we always wanted to put that 100 pounds on her? They found 150 to put on her. She looks like $1 million. Mark Adams did an incredible job with Globetrotting this winter. She looks fantastic.
Looks like she ate Globetrotting.
Yeah, she looks like she ate Globetrotting last year, yeah. So, no rush with her. None at all, no pressure. She's going to take her time and make sure she has a very sound and strong 2021. And then Italian Grit is here. He's racing on Tuesday, as I said, 5-2. Billy Davis Jr. is going to drive here.
He schooled him Thursday.
And he schooled him Thursday in 2-4, so he should be tight. He'll be tight and sound coming in. The vet saw him today, so he should be good. The rail on a half-mile track's always a little concerning with a trotter, but I think he'll be fine. And then one of my favorite horses, and jumped on Jason's toe, so that only made her more my favorite horse. was Jazzy Judy is in town. I trained her today. First training trip as a sophomore today. Trained her a mile and a half. She looked great. You see her finishing up? I know you were looking. You were watching. Don't pretend you.
I was warming Jazz up.
Don't tell me you weren't watching. You were watching.
I was warming Jazz up.
Jazzy Judy looked incredible today. Man, I was just sound. Very, very sound.
Thanks to Dr. Latessa and Lee Equine.
There you go,
for the
Jason.
free foot. They x-rayed my foot. We're good.
Jazzy Judy jumped on his foot literally jumped on his foot yesterday, and the vet x-rayed Jason's foot right there.
We're good.
No breaks. Jason does not have a broken coffin bone. He'll be fine. And Jazzy Judy's fine too. She trained really good today. Very impressed with her. Now, I know Jason doesn't want to hear this. Jason's always game for work, but a lot of work could be coming this way in Ohio. As I said, very serious issues in Ontario right now with COVID-19 and the lockdown and everything that is going on. Our horses are starting to train faster previously before this year, right? I have kids that are in school. We train all our horses down at Tomiko. We will start running them over to Mohawk to start training them faster miles, and that's usually how we get it done. But now, this year, total lockdown at Mohawk until at least May 6th. Our horses are starting to train now. My kids are out of school, right? The last 4 days before their March break, which is now in April, we're homeschooling, home learning. It's a very, very delicate situation and a very, very scary time in Ontario. So I had proposed it to my wife. Why don't we rent a place here, take the kids out of school. I can't believe I'm saying this out loud. Take the kids out of school, get their curriculum that way they would need done for the remainder of the 2021 year, because I don't think they can have online learning when they have in-class learning. I doubt it. I can't imagine they do. So would the school allow us to take the curriculum? And I had spoke to somebody in the that was in the Catholic school board previously, and they said, listen, I'm sure you're not the only parents asking this question. A lot of people can't, right? They work in Ontario. Yes, I work in Ontario, but I also work right here. So I told you guys that they're how fluid the situation is. This is the stuff that goes through my head every day. We could rent a place right here. We could have the kids out of school right now. Wouldn't it be a terrible thing if my poor kids got a 4-month summer instead of 2? With everything that's gone on, it's been a nightmare for them also. I don't know if we can. I don't know if the ramifications would be. It's obviously, there's my wife calling me now. It's obviously not as simple as I'm letting it on to be, but it's an option. And if it is, I would suspect almost every horse. Now, I would leave all the Ontario horses in Ontario, split them up between your burn, your string in Ontario, Harry's burn, Mario's burn, and Johnny would have some horse in the top burn, I believe. I would ask James to oversee the entire operation because he knows how I want things done anyway. The Ontario horses would continue to train down. Now, I would be obliged likely to leave Will to Win Hanover, and definitely Will to Win Hanover there, if not 3 Point Blue Chip also. But when it comes to starting to train the horses faster, where would they be best suited? One of the fastest half-mile tracks in the universe, right here at Northfield Park or Tomiko Training Center. Again, points to Northfield on that one. So
and they're going here. There's no
and they're coming here.
They're racing.
Exactly. They're racing here now, and 2, they're coming here. So we have the 16 or 17 Ohio breds. We have PA breds. We have Indiana breds, and a couple of New York breds. All could be right here because
the state schedule.
They're going to race
with
here.
or without us.
Yeah. So I mean, it makes sense to have them over here. It just depends on my family, and that's the honest to God truth. There's no other way for me to put it. It depends on what my wife. I think you guys have realized by now. I can carry a number of things on my back. I can absorb an inordinate amount of stress, but that's okay. That's what I signed up for, and I'm happy to do it. I don't want any of that stress flowing onto my wife, so it bothers me when she's concerned about school, when she's concerned about Ollie's baseball, even when she's concerned about those things. When these things are eating away at her, it bothers me, so I try to keep her shielded away from any of it, but this is really a conversation for her and I. So this is what we're trying to do right now in Ontario. This is what is potentially on the table, and I will see how that plays out. Don't There's no point emailing me saying, does that mean everybody's going to Ohio? I don't know yet. The horses that are here. They're not going anywhere. The babies that are in Ontario that are not Ontario breds potentially could move here. That shed row right there, I believe, fits 30. But I know Jason doesn't want that, but it is what it is. We have to do it.
Gradual's good. 30 in one day is a little...
It's a lot, but at the same time, it is what it is, and no different than Billy. I'm sure Billy doesn't want to drive 2.5 hours further into the States to ride horses for the stable and sleep on your couch, but at the end of the day, we're all trying to do the best we can to get through this, and not everybody can pivot in such a way. We're lucky that we can. We're lucky that we have Jason's Barn here in Ohio. Otherwise, this would not even be on the table. So, a lot of stress, a lot of things going on right now, as I'm sure you know, as I'm sure you guys know me well enough now to know when stuff's bugging me, and it has been bothering me quite a bit for the last week, but we'll get through it. Summer is coming. So, talking about the 2-year-olds, I reached out to James, Amy, Jimmy, and asked them about how today's training went. So I didn't get to see it. Neither did you. I'll give you the highlights. I know the down for me, the low for me, Voyage of Ice and Fire made a break. Amy was going with him. He's a tricky horse. If you don't know him, he's one of those horses where if he thinks he can get ahead of you, he might. And he's not a cheater. He's not he doesn't cheat, but if he thinks he might be able to get an easy Saturday, he might take it also. And I think he did today. So we'll start with the first set. Now, everybody went from 219. First set went in 219. That was the fastest one of the day. Everybody else went between 219 and 224 today. So we had 5 or 6 that didn't train, but those horses are close to being back going. The only ones that are a little bit off right now would be Twinbee Habanero, Duke Dio. I even gave Arches Rainbow the day off. She made a break on Wednesday. I wanted to go with her next, so I didn't train her today. But none of these are serious things, right? So we'll start with it. Luck of the Dragon, Ty went on, and Renegade Gypsy all trained in 219. Bomb Hugger was climbing over them, which I love to hear that. This one filly, you guys know my policy with Bomb Hugger. Don't start her up. Leave her alone. And Jimmy said he was climbing over them with her. So Luck of the Dragon, I went with him Wednesday and let him up pretty good. I made him do his work hard. And Johnny said he was very good today. Ty went on, James said was fantastic today, and Renegade Gypsy was good. Again, so good for him. Set 2. Sweet on Pete was very good, apparently. Really good. Now, she's got a vet appointment Thursday, but this win isn't going to get her out of her vet appointment. She's still going on Thursday. James said she was strong. Little weak in the turns. It's a big filly anyway. Another filly that would definitely benefit from being here. Little weak in the turns, but very strong. Finished up very strong. Grace was right beside her, and they finished up together in set number 2. Very good. Now, if I'm not going to talk about every horse, but I'm going to give you the highlights that I got. Grace and Sweet on Pete were standouts in set 2. Dragon, Taiwan on Gypsy, set 1. Set 3, Miss Mildred apparently came storming past them down the lane with Colt Longprix in the jog cart. And Mildred's been great, and Colt's actually doing a great job with this filly. I can't wait to see her race this summer. She was very good again. Apparently, Slim Jimmy on his way here. Slim Jimmy was fantastic today, I'm told. Garden State Dio was great. She'll probably be another one on the list here. And Bomb Hugger was in this set. He said he was climbing over them. I thought he was in set 2. He was in set 3 and climbing over them there. Set 4 had some breakers in it. The 2 standouts in that set were 1, 2, skip a few. Now, James said still a little skippy. We're going to Baycox her again, too. I'm going to cover all my bases with this filly. Physically, as far as her skeletal system, as far as her body is concerned, no issues. She was to the vet. Back was really tight. Hamstrings were tight. Her feet up front were a little contracted. We opened her feet up, glued shoes on her, took the flip-flops off, opted for a bar shoe. She trotted good, James said, when we got her thawed out. Finished up her mile, very, very strong. Game filly. Her and Procrastinator, 2 horses that are Ohio breds, finished up together very, very well. Set number 5 saw, 1, 2, 3, 4. Set 5, Almost There Boss, was very good, I'm told. And Will to Win Hanover acted up today. I believe what James said. She was acting up today. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say she made a break, even though he didn't say she did. She made a break, but then was flying at the end of it and really finished up well. He said, Anthony, here's the thing. When they're going slow in front of her, she gets angry. When they're going fast, she's flawless. If I was going to pick one or the other, I would definitely pick that one. So it's just a matter of continuing to work on her. This is a filly that, 1, James likes, 2, James gets along with. So if we do not move a number of horses to Ohio from Ontario, this filly likely will not be on that ship. Set number 7, Amor Diener was great, and Spent was great, I'm told. 221 that set went, maybe 220. Spent again was good. Just minor shoeing and equipment changes. He's turned back on. He looks great. And Amor Diener was very good, Mario told me. And then the last set, Hill of Magic, another Ohio bred, was very good today, James said. Prairie Fire, another Ohio colt, very good today. And Rosie's Masterpiece was also great today. This is a filly like Isa 10. I didn't mention Isa 10. Why? I must have missed Isa 10. James must have told me about her. Isa 10 was good, he said. I apologize, I missed her. She was good. So Prairie Fire, Hill of Magic, and Rosie's Masterpiece was good. Now, Rosie's Masterpiece and Isa 10 are horses we gave a week off, had their knees injected from the veterinarian with polyglycan, and then gave them another few days. This would be her first training trip back, whereas Isa 10 has already had one. So they were good today. So 42 trained today. 42 went between 219 and 224. If you remember, not that long ago, the only horse I told you I was worried about is Procrastinator, and he is advancing. He's progressing. He's a progressinator. He's advancing mile and 221 today. He looked great, apparently. So a good day from him. Again, still 47 horses on the board, 47 horses with a path to qualify in 2021. So where does that leave us officially? A lot is going on. We got all the fillies in the finals. Sweet Ambitions, everybody's going to be watching her next start. GW Chrome races with Holy Chick and Mama Knows Best on, was that Wednesday in the Iron Maiden. I'm a Lovely Lady races Monday in the Hackett final. Aglaire AM won My Heart Hanover the week after in the final, whatever the final's called over there. Frilly Fringes, do you think we could race her here once in the maiden? She never won a race. Would she get in?
Tough with that series right now. Yeah. So kind of maybe.
Well, she's going to school Thursday. We're definitely not racing her this week. It'll be the week after. So we'll see. We'll see. White Tiger's likely to make his first start back here. Italian Grits racing here this week, and then he'll go to Indiana. And my girl, Jazzy Judy's going to train down here. So impressed with her today. She was really good. So other than that, anything to add, Jason? Any news?
Pretty quiet.
Pretty quiet? You saw Godzilla last night. That was good, eh?
Yeah. Amy didn't like it.
No, Amy was not a fan of Godzilla. I got to rent it at home with Bell Express for you. You got to go to the movie theater.
It was the first time I've been to the movies in over a year.
Yeah.
So I just saw anything.
Anything, yeah.
I didn't care.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
Kirby and Dara went to a baseball game.
Yeah, it's and that's the thing, right? It almost, I feel bad being over here because we can't do anything in Ontario, and I'd be lying if it really wasn't affecting my decision and my dialogue with my wife, the fact that you can't do anything in Ontario and you can literally do everything over here. I don't want it to, though. I'm trying my hardest before I frame any conversation with my wife. I'm trying to remove the freedoms that are available right now simply because they're of the relaxing of the restrictions here in Ohio. So really what it comes down to is my wife, my family, my kids, and if it is possible and amenable and my wife doesn't stress out too much over it, there is a real possibility that the vast majority of the stable.ca will be stabled in Burn N of Northfield Park.
Tigers here, so that's a big plus.
Oh yeah. Burn N of Northfield Park. So far from a seamless transition, far from a perfect year, but we are doing our damnedest to make sure that we get everything done as best we can. So we get 2 in tonight.
Pine tomorrow, open trot.
Pine tomorrow in the open trot. Jesus, how did I forget that? Oh, so Pine in the open trot.
Driver change.
Driver change. I can't make front with him like James, though, because I got the 9-hole.
True.
I have to race him off the pace.
Mm-hmm.
So we got Oso Pine here tomorrow. The good news is we have a number of horses over here that fit a number of places. Not just tracks, not just classes, but jurisdictions. And the flexibility that allows is good. It's helpful. We just want to find a place for all our horses to do well right now. That's my job. That's what I'm trying to do. It worked well this week for the ones we had to race. For the Brave World group also tonight. Good luck. For the Time of Houdini group. A little bit of bad luck, but he'll get them next week. So, with that, that's the opening. This week's going to be a little different. I'm not going to give you a top 10 list because I didn't see the horses. I'm not going to give you a drone on about a bunch of 2 and 3 year olds. I'm going to tell you what I know. What I know this week. We're not going to talk about the barns again. I'll give you a general overview of the barns because the barns could be vastly different in 7 days from what they are today. So that is my opening. Racing tonight at Northfield Park. By the time they see this video, I've already raced. Racing tonight at Northfield Park, tomorrow at Northfield Park, and then I'll be home. If I leave on time and if everything goes right, I'll be home by 1:30 in the morning in Ontario on Monday morning. Take care. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I know it's tough for our clients, my friends and family in Ontario, but this will be over soon. I know we keep hearing that. And light at the end of the tunnel and whatnot. It will be over soon. And let's just try and focus on what's ahead and not what's right now. So, hope it's a sunny day. Hope the beer's cold, wine's cold. You guys have a great weekend. Take care.